I was on Facebook Marketplace and I found this John Deere bee that caught my eye. The owner, Eldon Walker, was selling it. It had been sitting for 20 years and it was all seized up. I went to go inspect the tractor and check it out, and I quickly saw that almost all of the moving parts on this tractor were seized up and wouldn't move. I'm pretty comfortable with the John Deere Letter Series tractors. I know what the parts cost, I know a lot of the repair processes, and when I saw this tractor, it was going to take me out of my comfort zone for sure. This tractor needs a lot of work. I knew there was no way I could make this project make financial sense to do, so it was really kind of overwhelming. Eldon saw my hesitation with this tractor, and him knowing that I make videos and post them to social media, he offered to give me the tractor for free, knowing that he'd be able to see the progress we make along the way. Now, Eldon didn't ask me for this, but it's my personal goal to get this thing running and bring it back to him so he can hear it run and drive it around himself. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and show you guys the process I use to clean up the head, get the valves free, and get things moving again. I went this route because I didn't have the right tools to get the valve springs off so I could take the valves out and clean things up how I would have preferred. I got lucky in freeing up these pistons. I just put a chunk of wood in the cylinders and hit it repeatedly with a sledgehammer, and that got it loose again. Then I cleaned them out, and that's what it looked like. If you ever do this and have access to a hoist, I'd recommend using one of those. These heads are pretty heavy, and with me having the fan shaft on there as well as the upper coolant pipe, it's just awkward getting it back in the frame. I am putting these push rods back in the same order that I took them out. I did torque all the nuts for the head bolts and got everything put back together. Here we're just making sure all the valves are functioning as we turn the engine over. Things are looking good.
Alright guys, so next, what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually try and start Eldon's John Deere B today. So we got the pistons freed up, new head gasket, the valves are freed up, head's back on there, we got the valve cover on. Now we just need to install the carburetor, the magneto, and we'll rig up some type of fuel system just to see if we can get this thing to fire. Alright, so I was thinking, this tractor's not run for at least 20 years. Who knows how old that oil is in there? I mean, it could be 30 years old or more, you never know. So we're going to drain out the old oil, put in a new filter, put in some new oil. Fortunately, I have all this stuff in stock since I have so many two cylinders. We're going to be installing a Napa Gold 1242 filter. And then I've got some 15W40 diesel oil that we're going to use in there. I think these take about 7.5 or maybe 8 quarts. All right, I'm just kind of using the stuff that I have available. This is my little catch pan. I'm probably going to regret having this particular one. I'm assuming that, I don't know, we might make a mess if it can't drain the oil into there as quick as we'd like here. Let's get this thing set up, and we're going to take out that drain plug. Yeah, why would it turn easy? Feels like I'm going to break it off. That would be fitting for how my projects usually go. Okay, maybe this is a better spot. There we go, it's coming. Yeah, that drain plug's not in the best shape. It's kind of been wallered out in the past. I love that. Take the plug out, nothing comes out. So the reason for that is because of sludge. I don't know why, but every one of these two cylinders that I acquire, when I do the first oil change, this is what happens. So there's water dripping out. I'm not really surprised since this engine was locked up. It was because of water getting in there. Let's poke the little sludge plug and see if we can get some stuff to... Oh, come on. Alright, so far that's all water. Oh, here's where the part where I start regretting it. No! There's a lot of water in there as well as just sludge. Pretty bad. I'm glad we drained that out of there. That is really thick. Ugh. Oh man, that is some dirty oil. Oh, son of a... This is a little Reese cup, by the way. Hey Reese, he's just out here helping. Now for that canister for the oil filter, there is a rubber O-ring around here that needs to be removed, so I'm going to see if I can use a screwdriver and get it to come out. Wish I had a little pick with me, but I don't.
1 hour later.
Well, I finally got it all out of there. I was just using this flathead screwdriver, and now all of the old rubber gaskets out of there. So we can proceed with getting the new gasket oiled up, put it in there, put in the oil filter, and tighten the cap down. With the Napa Gold 1242 filter, it does come with 2 rubber gaskets or O-rings here. So it is the smaller smaller one that comes in the set. All right, I ended up cleaning up the cup off camera. I did get that snap ring out of there and cleaned underneath this plate, and there was a ton of sludge, so I'm glad I did that. So now we're gonna put this new filter in there and put the cup back on. Now the thing about this is that you do not, absolutely do not want to over tighten it. You just want it to be snug. If you over tighten it, it's going to cause you a whole lot more problems that you're not going to like. Now at some point I'll replace that plug because it is, it's all mangled. It's not in good shape, which is why I couldn't get my 9/16 wrench to open it up. Now we're just going to take this off of here, and that's where I'm going to be putting the new oil back into the crankcase through here. So we should be using about 7.5 or 8 quarts. All right, so I did get the oil filled up here. It did take, it took about 7 quarts, so there might have been a little bit left in the crankcase. That's okay. If we do get this thing running, like I said, we'll let it run a while and we'll do another oil change on it. At least it's got a whole lot better oil in it than it did before. Now I need to do a real quick shout out. So I had both the mag and the carburetor professionally rebuilt at rebuiltmags.com. So Rudy and Kenny, thank you. You guys did a great job, and these things look magnificent. Okay, so next we're going to install this magneto, and you need to have your left cylinder at top dead center. So I've actually already done that, and you can see on your flywheel there's a marking for left-hand impulse, and then your timing mark is right here. So as long as those line up, which mine do, and I've already actually verified through the spark plug hole that the piston is at top dead center, now we can install the magneto. Now Rudy does provide a new gasket, so we're going to put that in there. There we go, we got the gasket on here. We'll get that into place, and then we're going to attach the bolt at the top and the nut at the bottom. Alright, so here I'm going to bolt on the carburetor. Now Rudy does include 2 new gaskets for the carburetor for both ends of it. So I'm going to put one on here. Now this bolt on this side, you don't have a whole lot of room, so it's a little more tedious than the other side. Let's get this one tightened up. Alright, that new carburetor looks pretty nice. Let's put the throttle control linkage down in the hole there. I'll get a cotter pin for it. After using that spark plug hole to determine where top dead center is, I'm going to put the spark plug back in there. These aren't even new plugs. I put in different plugs from what was in the tractor, but this is an old set out of my other John Deere B. It still ran on them, so they should be fine. Alright, so I took the original fuel line and I actually cut it off. And I normally don't like to do that type of thing, but the pipe was clogged and I couldn't get it unclogged. It had a bend in it and it was full of rust. So anyhow, it was going to have to be replaced if I wanted to use it anyhow. What I'm going to do is use this, put a rubber hose on this end and attach that to a temporary fuel tank. That'll let us get fuel into this carburetor so we can try and see if it'll fire. There we go. We'll just take that to a temp tank. That thing could just sit there. Alright, so I took a little rubber bungee and just put it around that tank. That'll hold it there. Now we need to get spark plug wires. Well, we've made a lot of good progress so far today. Got that new carburetor on. I got it hooked up to that temp gas tank. Got the new magneto on, and I got the new spark plug wires on there as well. And we also got the oil changed. I kind of think this thing's ready to try and start. Let's do it. All right, I think we're about ready to try this. I got the 48B belted up, and I'm gonna get the belt spinning. Once I do that, we're gonna engage the clutch with the petcocks open. I'm just gonna see if it builds oil pressure. After I can confirm we've got good oil pressure, I'm probably gonna open up that valve on the bottom of the tank to get fuel in the carburetor, see if we can get it to fire. some reason I wasn't building oil pressure yet. We got the oil in there, the plug's in there, filter's in there. Okay, we got oil pressure. I've got the fuel turned on. We got a lot more to do this thing, but the fact that it runs, that just makes me so happy. Let's try it again. I'm not gonna run it too much because we don't have a cooling system. It wants to run so bad I can't shut her down. Come on. There we go. Ah, sweet. All right, I want to do one more test today. I've got the fuel on. I don't have the belt on this thing anymore. I want to see if I can hand crank it and get it to start just by me cranking it and not having another tractor crank it. That's freaking awesome. Awesome. That makes me pretty happy. Because if it can start by hand by me doing this, the engine's not in that bad a shape. And the work that I did to get it free, obviously it worked. So doing stuff on the cheap doesn't necessarily mean it was bad.
I've obviously got more work to do on this tractor, and I've got some more videos that'll be coming out soon. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, turn on your notifications, and share this video with others if you have friends that like this type of thing. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys.